and welcome to Matt Tries Trove. This is an interesting little game. Essentially, it's kind of a third-person mix of dungeon grinding and stuff like Minecraft, the Voxel games. I'm going to show you a little bit of the beginning here. Just barely logged into this game, kind of lost, trying to check out menus and stuff, trying to look at things. Really didn't understand at the beginning what I was supposed to be doing, but after a few moments of looking around, we finally find the barber there. Okay, me of the past, you can get up and go over there. The game does automatically start you off as a knight. I don't know if there's an allowed choice to actually switch beforehand or not. But the knight and the dual gun character are both the starting two classes. They also have a ninja, I guess a dragon summoner, and some sort of other mage-like character. I think it's supposed to be some sort of fairy, maybe. There's not too much in the way of different hairstyles, but there are a few interesting things here and there, and they at least have a commendable amount of different colors to use. Although, I wish they would come up with a few more colors to make your character. Meanwhile, we're going to speed this up a little bit so we can get to the end of the character generation. And we'll hurry things along so we can actually reach the main point of the tutorial, which is to start showing you how to play the game. As you can see, you can read signs as well as a little bit of information on items when you highlight them with the reticle. I think the best way to describe it is it's a mix of Minecraft and Neverwinter Online. A little with the reticle combat and so forth for the main fighting. And they do eventually allow you to unlock a couple of other buttons you can push for during combat. Most notably, you get to right-click, plus you get 1 and 2 as alternate attacks. Also, there are the automatic potions that you kind of have. I'm not sure if their number naturally multiplies or what, but I think you get more as you go through. I can't really say for sure on that. But it's a nice system. I currently have about 12 of them. And you can replenish them whenever you can find a replenish station, and normally you don't need to use the potions too often. It's at least higher levels, at least. Also, it's explaining the ability to place things right now really quick. So you push the tab button, essentially, and then you place blocks. So you can amplify this little staircase here and finally easily just walk up to the top, because as long as it's only 1 block tall, you actually don't have to jump in this game. They will walk up it like it's a normal staircase. Characters are technically at least 2 blocks tall, meaning you need at least a 3-block height, I think, in order to make stairs that go through a ceiling. And we're going to speed through things a little bit again, because this is what I'm doing right now is essentially a voiceover for the original footage, because apparently I forgot to actually record a voice at the time. Now, having sped through all of this, we can show you that you do get a basic house with a couple of signs around. You can destroy the signs and get rid of them, because, let's face facts, they're not really that useful. So as soon as you've actually learned how things work. Essentially, you get to click a little question mark that's out in front of these dark purplish colored blocks, and you get I believe they call it a corner home or something like that. I forget what their exact name is, but essentially it's where you get to save your house. Okay? So you get to actually make your house on this 16 by 16 square, and you get to do whatever you want, as tall as you want, within that 16 by 16. So there's been a numerous amount of massive towers. And obviously pretty soon here I will be deconstructing this entire house and rebuilding it, as one should, and we'll fast forward to that and actually show you that in high speed as well. Alrighty. So starting off with the little beam here, this is your normal right click when you're in build mode. Build mode is what you do when you push the tab button and you go see-through. So that way you can actually see what you're doing through your character without having to worry about him getting in the way of what you're planning. Which, I admit, is not something that game developers think about all the time either, so thankfully they did think of that, and we don't have to have problems while trying to build, at least not as often. I had done some mining that I have cut out of the video, and started placing a ton of the gray blocks that I had gotten. And essentially just trying to, basically, at the very beginning here, make a much bigger house. That's all I really intended it for, is a bigger home. Also, when you zap things, you can accidentally hit the thing behind it, but as long as you don't keep zapping it, it'll eventually regenerate back to normal, like you hadn't zapped it at all. And here we go, zapping all the signs. I have moved the health thing once or twice, but I have not actually moved it from its original spot, at least not too much at least. I have left it pretty much on ground level where it's easy to find and get to. Kind of figure that if anyone's coming to my house in an emergency, one of the few things they'll want right away is finding the potion vendor, you know. Yep, made a stairway up to the second floor and start building a second floor. Again, doing this as quickly as possible. Another thing that they want you to do when you first get into the tutorial is that they want you to build a portal so you can get to the normal home area. Because they actually don't start you there, they start you in kind of a newbie zone, which you can eventually wander out into and experience one of the first, more or less, areas of the game, which is kind of a gloomy haunted woods kind of feel. And yet, ran out of gray blocks, so I'm gonna start another little mine and get more gray blocks. Collect like a good 100 or so before coming back. And I will cut yet again because it's a basic house, it's nothing too fancy. So, the number one thing you need to do is you need to then seek out enemies and try and kill them for the berry items that they drop. They are a red cubish looking thing that drop from them, and you will need them along with these purple blocks that we can see that I was just digging up here, and we'll see some more digging I'm sure soon, in order to try and make the portal that we need. But it definitely requires you to go out and kill a number of the enemies in order to get the red ones, because not only just for the sake of the game itself, but not for just the sake of this portal itself, rather, but also for a lot of other things inside the game. You need to collect a lot of those red berry things because they will be used in a lot of big construction things for some reason. I'm not sure why something that's named a berry is that useful for crafting, but they figured it would be. And here we are, we're kind of back down to normal speed because I'm going to show you one of the dungeons at this point. Trying to get in it at the moment, jump the fence. Collecting headstone, smashing headstones. I was trying to figure out if there's a way to collect things just by smashing them randomly, but apparently a lot of the props you can eventually learn to build over time, but you can't actually learn by smashing the stuff in-game. But yeah, essentially it guides you to your first dungeon and tells you can go down there, you gotta kill some baddies, and then depending upon the type of dungeon, you might end up with a boss to fight at the very end, or a selective group of villains with a slightly tougher one to fight with. And yeah, the skeleton just fell into the lava there, making him a whole lot easier to take care of. I think actually what they call the houses is cornerstones. I sat here and thought about it for a moment. And when you do to finish a dungeon, whether it's a boss fight or not, you always get a chest, and depending upon what level the area is, you will get some loot for that level. So I just got a heart thing. I didn't know at the time how to activate the proper windows, but to get your inventory, it's B for backpack. To look at your character sheet, it's C. And in order to look at stuff you can craft without a crafting table, you push a V. I believe I is a collection of a wide variety of things that you've learned how to craft. It's not exactly going to tell you how to make them, though. And yeah, you can see another dungeon over there, so we're going to take care of that. But again, we're going to speed things up a little bit so we can get through all this. You see how the combat works. It's very reticle based. You turn around with the mouse and keyboard, move forwards, backwards, and left and right with WASD. Holding left click will have you automatically slicing and dicing your way. Right click will be your first secondary attack, which you'll unlock with Knights. It's going to be a ground bash. Number 1 will be a charge attack, and number 2 will be a shield and heal ability, which allows you to heal almost all your hit points and then be protected from a massive amount of damage for, I want to say somewhere around 5 to 10 seconds. It makes you a very survivable tank, and that's pretty apt for a knight. And oh yeah, we're alright through the second dungeon now. So I'm going to speed this up ahead a bit. So there's the house again. It's a little more in complete format after all the side grinding I was doing in this first day. You can also see I have a much better weapon. I also got a very silly hat and some face protection that looks like a heart. It was a health-based item. So kind of a Zelda-ish reference there. And we finally have enough of the red and purple crafting items in order to make that portal now. So we'll create the portal there at the workbench. Gonna head upstairs, which is purposely made to hold the portal. Not sure what I was doing. Apparently I was trying to figure out where it was, and it's automatically in the first available slot on the bottom, as you'll see. And then we're going to try and find a place for it. Also, make sure that you have the item selected, of course, by the 1 through 9 buttons, I believe. There we go. It's no longer clipping. And upon initial use here, I did try to go to the home base, but it glitched. And this is the hub world. You see the little white tower there with the multiple colored portals on them. Those are for the different levels in the game. Items in those portals will drop the same color as the portals themselves and will be of growing quality. As you'll see, there's it's a wall around this area, kind of like it's a tiny sheltered-in town. But if you venture outside the walls, you'll find that there's a whole bunch of cornerstones, kind of like the beginner area. And you can also go out there, spawn your buildings. You can check out what other people have made if they spawn stuff out there, if it's a crowded enough particular instance of the hub area. Also, it's Halloween, so there's also been a number of pumpkin themed things that have been releasing and become craftable recently as part of their extension for the season, as well as the beta test. That said, this is more or less what I covered for the original, but here's what's happened in the weeks since originally filming this. Come get some. This is my house now. There are few like it, and I guarantee you this one is mine. So, in case you haven't noticed from the little quick montage of boss bashing and the house I just showed you from the outside, I've been kind of cramming this. Since I filmed the original portion of this video, it's been about a week. I have all the crafting tables that you see here. Each of them does something slightly different. This is actually the barbershop again, like we saw at the very beginning of the game. This is a fun factory. You get balls, you get all kinds of strange little devices. Oh, and you can also apparently create a couple of pets in here. Got the workbench, tables, lamps, and so forth. So far in that. Cube converter, where you can get certain color types of cubes if you're looking for something in particular. And recolor them. And actually, I just noticed there's something else in there. What was that? There's organic cube converter. Reverts blocks to a more natural state. Metallic cube converter. Ooh, applies metallic painting to blocks. Interesting. Glass cube converter uses creative transparent glass blocks or cornerstone. And glowing cube converter applies a glowing effect to blocks. All kinds of interesting stuff. I'm gonna have to start looking at making some of those benches too now. I did make a personal chest. I've only got a couple of things in there that I've made that I have not actually created for myself. I am working on, in particular, on my gardening. There's some stuff I'm trying to get to, like the steed feed here, so I can finish collecting the needed pumpkins in my inventory here. I've only got 400, I need 1,000 in order to try and get to the pumpkin steed. It essentially means that you get to ride around a pumpkin that bounces around. Oh! Unwanted guest, not sure how he got in. Got the advanced forge here. It's you actually have to pick the forge off the ground again and have the other materials you need, and this allows you to upgrade equipment. The more advanced it gets, the more options you get. You only start with the basic level up option there. This is the deconstructor. It'll take any gear that you don't have any other use for and turn it into more flux, which is used to upgrade a current equipment if you want to. And this is the style saver. And what this will do is we'll right click on an item in our inventory, and if we don't have that style already saved as something we can craft, we can destroy it and get that style. And a lot of these are greens, so I'm not really concerned about what happens to them. If they don't go through here to be converted into new styles I can use later, then I will take them more to the other flux maker and shove them in there to make me some more flux for when I reach endgame. See, this one's already been learned, so we're gonna leave that, go in here, and we can get another 3 flux out of that. It's a low level, I don't expect much flux. Also up here, we have the teleporter back to the hub, to the main hub area, but also I just recently got enough of the crafting tables to start the other portals, which I've got the level 1 to 3 area portal here. Here's some of the torches you can make. These are the average size torches. You can also make them in a wide variety of colors, but you have to make the base ones first. And I'm actually still working on trying to figure out and find lava and toss the item in my T slot down there with 10 of them. It's essentially supposed to allow me to collect lava, and I'm thinking, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking that collecting it allows me to use that to make it into things that can make actual lava dispense from my building, so I'm kind of gonna make like the lava falls out of the eyes and maybe dig some trenches here in the front to allow the lava to safely pile up into a little trench where it won't do anyone any harm as long as they don't walk into it. I've been mostly trying to battle with these mushroom creatures. They drop mushroom pieces which are useful for some of my current crafting, as well as occasional items out of them, which does not hurt at all. Also, I will occasionally pick up the red fruit item from them as well, which I have still need of, as well as the purples. Haven't seen as much of the blue stones, at least yet, but I've also been getting a lot of demand for the yellow ground stones for creating tables and stuff. So we're gonna head back to the house, but we're gonna have a quick look at it from afar. There, the torch is kicked in and looks nice. I like my house. It turned out pretty well. I'm actually thinking of making that front onto the other sides of it, maybe. But I'll think about it. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Obviously, keep a lookout for this game because it's been quite fun so far with very little problem, except for maybe when I'm tired or something. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and see you all next time. Did I forget to mention my little trophies here? Yeah, you get to collect trophies from killing monsters. They'll just randomly drop. Some days you'll get really lucky and find a dozen of them easily. Some days you'll just find one on a blue moon. So I've got almost 6 of them so far. And I've seen quite a few more, so hopefully the collection will grow.